Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? Today is the 2nd of January. It's about 8:23 at night, and I'm posting yet another video for you guys to view. This one is coming from a place of the heart, a place of sadness, a place of encouragement, and a place of resolve and faith. This is mostly in response to Mr. Finn of Fox News, who just recently reported, a little bit late, about a young lady and her husband and their children who were rammed by an illegal alien who had twice been convicted of DUIs but subsequently released under California laws to roam free amongst us again. And again, driving here in California under the influence, he rammed their vehicles. You can look on the video, you can look on the websites here, check on Twitter, and you can see the damage that this individual caused. It should be on Fox News by now because it's starting to get attention. About damn time. Games, people, political games. Neither side wants to do what is right. Neither side wants to take responsibility for their actions. We have a family, not the first, definitely not going to be the last, but a family that I've written to as a candidate for governor expressing my concerns and my apologies for the failure of the current governor and the current government to do likewise, to do what they should have done as is their responsibility. If not by responsibility, then at least by the compassions of one human being to another in a tragic event. But Mr. Newsom and the Democratic Party in the state of California are too focused on providing protections for the illegal communities in our state against the citizens of our state. They're willing to sacrifice as many of us as needed to acquire and achieve their political goals for people who have not entered into our nation legally. Foreign nationals that are here in an unauthorized capacity. Illegal aliens for short. We're not just selecting only the ones from the southern border, we're selecting all the ones from all over the world who seemed under President Joe Biden to have a green light to come into this nation nilly-willy because that's what they wanted to do. It's not because they were trying to seek the American way, trying to be American citizens. They were just trying to flood the border. And they did for 4 years. They were trying to creep into the fabric of our societies, and they have for over 4 years. And obviously, given the reports coming out of Minnesota and Ohio, they were fleecing the American public for 4 years. This started to really be a hot topic when August rolled around and we had that fatal crash of a California over-the-road driver copping a U-turn on a Florida road that caused the resulting death of 3 Florida citizens. Yes, I wrote to Governor Desantis expressing our apologies as a state, taking responsibility because of the failures of our state in providing that gentleman a license that he probably should never have received. I implored Mr. Desantis not to ratchet this up and to at least give me an opportunity to both win a race and to make the corrective actions that are needed before it got out of control. Less than a month later, it got out of control. The Fed stepped in. Now the games are played anew. Withholding money, threatening lawsuits, writing here, writing there. No action so far. We've seen some reports of truck drivers that have been pulled on the side of the roads, their vehicles impounded, they arrested, and the threat of California's trucking industry of over 13,000 to 17,000 licenses, commercial licenses, potentially pulled because of the games that are being played here in California. Only now we're doing this on a national scale. California is entrenched, embedded, lockstep with stupid to ensure that illegal aliens, those nationals from foreign nations who are here in an unauthorized capacity, have everything they could ever want, need, or desire. Whether it's social services, medical help, a job, a home, a car, a loan, education, hey, we're ready to give it to you nilly-willy. Just give us your vote. That's the mantra. And Republicans, now that we have Mr. Trump in office, are starting to play the hardball thing back and denying and removing benefits, denying and removing income. Of course, you have some Republicans that seem to be impeding that, a lot of Democrats that seem to be firmly against that. Hell, they're not even from California, and they're pitching in the no votes every chance they get. And why? Because they're catering to a constituency they don't actually represent. And if that argument were to ever come to pass, I would leave this to the powers that be, that if these people want to represent these foreign nationals, start going through your paperwork and find out if they've actually registered as agents to these nations, and charge them accordingly if they haven't. If we're going to play games, let's play games all the way around. Meanwhile, we have a young Marine that's now, according to news reports, but didn't come out there originally, not that I've seen, fighting for his life coming out of a horrible accident. Now he's lost a limb. Lost a leg because of this. Still in ICU, I believe. Wife's now in a wheelchair. Family has one less child that they're taking care of. She died in the crash. The career of that young man is ended. And except for the willpower and the grace of the Lord, Jesus Christ, his life may or may not be allowed to continue. That's up to God to make that determination. He has to fight for that. We have to pray for that he makes it through. And we will, and I am, and so is my family. I've written a long, lengthy letter to the Cruz family on their behalf, and on behalf of this failed government and this failed governor. I wrote to them as a candidate for governor, and as a father, and as a veteran. Compassion, people. Just a little bit. Can't even get that from our freaking elected officials. What does that tell you? I've written out to Mr. Finn, person that wrote the article up and put it on Twitter, to have a conversation with a candidate, not just one that's propped up by the parties, and having a real, honest to heart, one-on-one conversation. Ask whatever you want to ask, sir. Blast me with whatever you want to blast me. Hit me as hard as you think you can hit me, and I'll still be here answering your questions and taking that heat. We have a gentleman that professes to want to make changes in the state, make California golden again. Says, talks, explains a little bit about his stance on the illegal alien question. A little slippery, a lot of smoke and mirrors, never quite sure where he is on the topic. Refers to his own immigration to the country, has nothing to do with the illegal aspect of him entering here. Leave that unto itself, go back to Wikipedia, find out what his history is all about. Start playing that game. Yes, I have history as well. My grandparents also immigrated from here. We're not talking about the legal immigration people. We're talking about the ones that came into this nation in an unauthorized fashion. We have a candidate on the trail right now as a Republican. His version of sanctuary status in California, maybe not to liquidate it, but to enhance it, maybe reinforce it, alter it a little bit. What the hell are we talking about, sir? You're the sheriff of a county, a law officer. And besides hiding from me and avoiding the opportunity to give a one-on-one debate, because you won't do really anything in mass with fellow Republicans, you want to hide behind SB 54 as the law preventing you from doing X, Y, and Z, which is cooperating with ICE officials. You and another gentleman that I've had the opportunity to discuss this topic with, Mr. Villanueva. He too is more concerned with people in Los Angeles than the citizens of Los Angeles. He as well is more concerned with keeping illegals safe from harm or expulsion as opposed to keeping the citizens of his area safe from harm or endangerment. One was a former sheriff trying to be a sheriff again. One is a sheriff now trying to run for governor. Both of them seem to curry more favor to the illegal population here than to the regular population here. Disconcerting, disheartening. Need to check on their status. Maybe they're agents for foreign powers that they haven't signed up for with the feds. But when you're a governor and you're here touting the fact that you're okay with allowing the bending of amnesty rules to legalize those that are here illegally, that haven't done anything wrong other than be here illegally, we had that mess, sir, with Mr. Ronald Reagan, and it didn't work out very well. And now you're advocating for it again in 2026. The fact that you're even making that announcement, much less that statement, which you have on video, is kind of telling where your loyalties lie. Puts into question your ability to govern. Oh my, did I say that? Sure as hell did. I'm here for the citizens of this state. I'm not really quite sure what the hell you're here for. To the Cruz family, again, my apologies go out to you. My heartfelt prayers for the family to recover, for your husband to recover and to return, both to duty and both into your arms and the arms of his children. This individual may have been trying to escape a harsh life looking for a better one. He should have taken the historical content of how America was created and instilled some of that mentality to his own area and perhaps accomplished the same thing. But instead, he chose to come here, bypassing the legal route to come here. In short, a thief through the night entering an open window. Now, because when he was caught the first time, he wasn't thrown out. If he's caught the second time, he wasn't thrown out. What is the California state going to do with him today? Oh, that's right. We have laws to protect him, but now this is a national issue. The story's national. It's embarrassing. So guess what? We may actually turn him over to ICE for deportation. Now, little girl had to pay for that price. A man that was a former Marine, because they'll discharge him after he gets out, has to pay that price. A family has to pay that price for your political gamemanships. When does it end? If elected for governor, it will end. Sanctuary status will go away. SB 54 will be suspended, and we're going to sit down with those individuals that have an impact on this item and have this discussion on how to work within the frameworks of the federal system. but we're not going to continue to play games by saying we are separate, we are equal, and we will do it the way we want to do it, which is to allow everybody and their grandmother into this nation to take advantage of it via the route of California. The Democratic Party, Mr. Gino Gavin Newsom himself, have long embarrassed this system long enough. Mr. Biden has corrupted it, Mr. Mayorkas has destroyed it, and we're lucky that we even have a border, much less a border patrol protecting it. My pledge to the citizens of this state: these incidents need to come dwindling down fast. These individuals need to be removed quickly. And those individuals who keep impeding the process need to be arrested and entail a little bit of time to cool off and think about their actions. This isn't going to be a catch and release. This is going to be a catch, charge, and sentence. We're trying to fight back for this state to be the state that it could be, not the state that it's turning into. So you know where I stand on this topic. It's not the first letter, as I've said, that I've written to families on the loss of their loved ones, on the impact of their loved ones, that the illegal question has surfaced time and time again. We need to stop playing political games. We need to stop playing games, period. I'm not portion or party to the game. Leo, I'm not conforming to the game. That's why I'm being excluded from a lot of conversation, from a lot of resources, from a lot of support, because I'm not yielding to the game. I've never played games. That's the difference between the candidate running for the citizens of this state and the candidates that are doing theatrics just to curry your vote. Harsh topic. Things you don't want to hear, things that you probably need to hear. But we need to do something different in this state, and this is not it. Continually having to see news reports of families destroyed by illegals doing something idiotic or moronic is not it. We need to bring back law and order into the state with the respect for law and order in this state. We still have an issue with that issue down in Stockton, California. Remember that one? Gangbangers deciding to open up free-for-all on a child's birthday party have yet to be found, have yet to be held responsible, have yet to be charged and tried in the court system. 1 month later, we're still waiting on the word. Someone in that community knows, and I implore you, in the Stockton community, somebody needs to step forward and be the responsible adult in the room. Let's make a difference, people. Let's make 2026 the year that we can enjoy, the year that we can look at prosperity, and not the year that we continually have to tuck every time we round a corner or enter into a store because some moron with a weapon wants to open up on the public knowing that nothing will happen to them. We need to stop allowing people to flood into our state, to take advantage of our state and our resources, while the rest of us are out in the cold trying to figure out whether we're going to move away or stick with it, and they enjoy the warmth and everything else that goes with a home or a vehicle or a job or anything else. We can't come up with money for veterans in this state who are homeless, but we sure as hell seem to be able to turn out an entire hotel system for illegal aliens, people who are here in an unauthorized fashion. We can do that for them. We've spent $30 billion on homelessness. We spent nearly 10, 20, $30 billion, depending on who you ask, on illegals, which no one has still been able to tell us how they get these numbers, where they're getting them from. They know, but they don't know enough to know. These are what I talk about when I say games and game playing. We're looking for corrections. I'm looking for results. I'm looking for action. I'm looking for responsibility. I'm looking for positive outcomes. What I'm not looking for is the continuation of excuses by government officials who should know better because they're still playing games. They're following the political party dogma. The more that they kiss butt, the higher up the food chain they go. It's called promotion by failure. Completely backwards in the state of California. How many people have we seen promoted because of failure? I've seen my fair share, believe me, in the state and in the county systems. We talk about fraud, waste, and abuse. You're looking at the #1 reporter of fraud, waste, and abuse in the County of Sacramento, Department of Human Assistance, in my 11 years of being an employee there. You think I got an award or accolades for that? Hell no. I got threatened with suspensions. I got threatened with job actions. I've got threatened with write-ups. And why? Because I did my job too well. County of Sacramento didn't want to know about fraud in their welfare system. They just wanted people to apply for benefits. Let others catch them. Problem is, nobody cared. Did I violate my duties as an eligibility specialist, African American, culture worker in my time with the county? They'll tell you I did. But what they won't tell you is I was effective at catching fraud up to 80% of all cases that I reported and still being able to do my job to bring people in as they applied for benefits. The county mission, you had to sit down with a person that we called client, interview them for up to an hour and a half, go over paperwork, redundant on some cases, get the forms, proof of identities needed by the person. Hopefully they had everything. More often than not, they did. And then after about an hour and a half sitting down with that individual, looking at them dead in the eye and say, no, you were denied because you had too much income. What does that mean? Well, you're getting Social Security to the tune of $3,000 a month, so we can't give you food stamps. But you just cost that person an hour and a half time. And you already knew the answer. So what I did to the benefit of people, gave them their option on how they wanted me to use their time. You're getting $3,000 a month in Social Security benefits. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to qualify for food stamps. It takes me all of 15 seconds to tell you that. Sign here, sign there. I'll do the rest. Don't need you to waste your day here on BS. Thank you very much, Mr. Leo. I greatly appreciate you not wasting my time. That was an option. Well, I want to go through the whole process. Okay, hour and a half. Here we go. What's the benefit? What's the end result? You were denied. I spent an hour and a half for this? I told you. I didn't force people to take the fast way. I gave them the option. Fast way or the long way. And if there was a doubt in my calculations and their benefit, I encouraged them to take the long way to see what the system spit out. Management hated that because it was effective. They didn't care people's time were wasted. They didn't care employees got threatened when the person found out they were going to get denied after spending half a day waiting for that response. We had a bunch of employees at any given time that got threatened by clients who got the negative response that they were not looking for. Had some employees press on people in an arrogant fashion, which is why they almost took an ass whipping in their rooms. I stayed there for 11 years. Never had an employee go off on me. Never had a client assault me, assail me, or threaten to assail me in an interview. Must have been a good reason. And that's because I was damn good. So in this aspect, if you're looking for results, you're looking for changes, you're looking for things to happen, look me up. Leo Naranjo, the number 4 governor, gov.com, Leo Naranjo 4gov.com. Vet it out, test it out, ask questions, press the questions, make them hard, and make them as hard as you would for the so-called top tier candidates. And you'll start to see what I mean when I say I'm here for the citizens of this state first and foremost. I'm not here for theatrics, and I'm not here for games. The bigwigs play games. Those in the know play games. The political entities swirling around us today are still playing games. We want to turn this state over. Let me make this a political pitch near the end of this video. We want to turn this state red, convince everybody that this state is really red. And then I looked up who in the hell is running for the mayor of Los Angeles opposite Karen Bass. And for all the bravado and braggadocious crap coming out of LA, what I haven't seen, unless I missed it, was a Republican candidate running for the mayor of LA. But you people know what's going on. And you people in the LA area seem to make a lot of noise about what we need to do in the northern parts of this state and in other parts of this state, who you have decided need to be picked for candidates for governor. You can't even put somebody up to challenge Mayor Bass. Speaks for itself with your little emoji, ha ha ha, Miss Hogue. Volunteer Hogue, I should say. Not an elected position. Not in the sense of she gets paid, according to her. Changes, ladies and gentlemen. We need to start making changes in this state. We need to be direct when we do, and we need to be conscious of what we're looking for in a candidate. Theatrics are all around us. Look what we've had for the last 30 years. Theatrics, promises, guarantees, all kinds of platitudes and arguments. The funny thing about it is people keep saying they want an honest politician. They want somebody who's dedicated to do something different. They want to challenge the status quo. You got somebody sitting right here in front of you, and everybody's ignoring that individual. And why? Because he's not part of the game. Brian Dahle got 1.2 million votes to get into the top tier race against Gavin Newsom. I've put myself up to a 1.7 million person responsible number, And my personal challenge is $5 from 1.7 million people. I'll be up there in the Bianco Hilton ranks. Hell, you even throw out $1, I'll be up there in the Bianco Hilton ranks. And why is that? Because I'm not effing around. Pardon the French. You ever seen that movie, They Live? You'll know what I'm talking about. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. I'm not here to cater to foreign nationals. Here to protect them when they come to our state visiting? Yes. Here to protect them when they come to our state for business purposes? Yes. Here to protect them when they enter our state illegally? Never. There is no doubt, there is no question. And if you want to play that card, demos, liberal opponents, democratic opponents, let me remind you, this looks Caucasian, but I'm also Hispanic. Other than that, you guys have a great night. Enjoy the day and the weekend. It's supposed to rain. We all need a new job description because the biggest failure you can ever have and be successful at it, besides being Gavin Newsom and governor of California, is to be a weatherman. It's supposed to have been a 95% chance to rain. Haven't seen a drop yet. You guys have a great day. Hope that brought a smile to your face. And again, Ms. Cruz, God bless you. Stay strong, keep to your faith, trust in Jesus, and everything will turn out okay.